If you can, if this is pointing like up-ish.
I got it. It's under control.
So the area is the outside.
Yes.
Let's
Alright.
figure this out.
So when we do these, because here's kind of where we're going with it, right?
No way.
When we stopped on Friday, we talked about something just like this. It was y equals x squared and y equals the square root of x. So it looked a lot like that little petal. And I was trying to describe what it would look like if I took that and rotated it around the x-axis. So here's the slow motion drawing of what that would look like. And it's just about to be done. And there it is. And then it's going to restart. So you're creating these solids and we're finding the volume of them. And to do that, as you can see when it's like rotated, this is made up of a bunch of circles. And it's actually, this time it's made up of a circle within a circle because the middle is like carved out. So I'm basically trying to take the area of one of those circles or parts of circles and integrate it from left to right, and it's going to make up the entire thing. This is what it would look like going around the x-axis, and then there's one around the y-axis. And we do have to do both. Here's the same space, and now it's rotated around the y-axis. See it?
It's just like a flower.
I looked on Wolfram Alpha to see if I could find like a video. Do you guys use that?
All the time.
No, like what was so confusing about it is like this. I don't know. I didn't think it was good at all for this. One other thing I can show you that I found before. Bangkok Dangerous is still ready to roll.
Should have clicked on that one. Bangkok Dangerous.
This was an example of, so if you have like just a parabola, and this is the little area you're trying to rotate, it would look like this. So when it came around, this one would be solid. It wouldn't have a hole in the middle of it. It would be totally solid, this whole thing. So like the bottom of it would be just a totally intact circle, and it would have these like weird slopey sides because of the way the parabola goes. Here's another one. If it went this space, but only from here to here, and I rotated it, it would look like this, kind of like a stand you put, you know, a piece of artwork on or something. I don't know. And what else? That was basically it. Here was a picture of that. Blah blah. But you kind of get the picture, the idea, what it looks like. Honestly, the idea of what it looks like isn't that big of a deal. Like here's.
China. What does that mean, China?
Oh. They're the first year I ever taught calc. I made them do like a PowerPoint presentation of this stuff after the test. Now we don't do anything after the test. Do you guys know Rob Furman? He's in the first graduating class at Sis's project. I don't know why. It's China, the Communist Party. So here's another parabola that was revolved. And this is kind of showing you how it's made up of all these different circles all together. If these circles could be like
China, the Communist Party.
the smallest thinness you could think of, let me say. Yeah, actually yes. Yeah, see, so here's this pictorial of like, this is this figure, and we're showing how like these circles can have infinitely small thinness. And I'm adding up a gazillion of these circles, and that's kind of how I'm getting the volume of it. So that's why the formula for these things is to take one of these circles and integrate it. So, woohoo! Let's go back to that example of y equals x squared and y equals the square root of x. 2 full weeks of school. Are you ready for this? No. I know, right? Yeah. When's your senior trip?
Never.
April 16th.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
So you come back from spring break on the 8th and you leave on the 12th? Oh, we're going to get a whole lot of conflict.
Yeah, is that
yeah.
Yo, is that set? Is that set? Is he still being?
Do what, huh?
Right? Spring break. Yeah, I'm going to Bermuda. Oh my god, that's amazing. I've never been. Actually, last time I was on a cruise, I was 3. That's amazing.
It's like the bay. So calm.
Yeah, my brother said this year he went to for spring break to Florida with my grandparents. And then
Okay, so here's the continuation from yesterday. It's so weird to have you guys in the front. Just kidding. Okay, so here's the problem from yesterday. They're going to tell you which axis to revolve it around. So from Friday, let's say they revolve it around the x-axis. I try to draw the mirror image, and then what I was trying to draw was the idea that if this really rotated around, it kind of like create this like circle. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm trying to show myself that I have like an outermost circle and I have then an innermost circle that has to get taken out. To find the volume of this thing, here's what you got to do. We've got to integrate from left to right. Pi times the radius squared of the outer circle minus pi times the radius squared of the inner circle. Period. So as confusing as this is, if you can try to like compartmentalize it into like, okay, I have to do this. There's not that many things in calculus that you can just be rote about and be like, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. Usually it's like, it can come out of anywhere. But this is something that if you know what to do, you can just try to apply it. So for this particular problem, left to right, I should say left x to right x, because these are x values that we're putting in as the limits. So we'd already said that this goes from 0 to 1, because they intersected at the point 1, 1 and the point 0, 0. And then we talked last week about how to find that radius. The radius is just the height of that curve. That's kind of why I draw the circle, so I can look at, like this outermost circle has a radius from here to here. That's just the height of the curve. But which curve is it, the square root of x or x squared? Square root of x. So you do have to know which one's which. So I often will draw a little picture so I can keep track of which is which. Whereas for the inner circle, here's the inner circle, its radius is only that big. So the radius of the inner circle is x squared. So to find any of these volumes, I'm integrating from left to right. So from this x to this x. Pi r squared of the big circle minus pi r squared of the little one. Or you can kind of think pi r squared, r being the height of the outermost region, and then the other r being the height of the innermost part. Before I put this in my calculator, I would clean it up as much as possible. So this is going to go from 0 to 1. Do you realize you could take a pi out still? I can like a factor of pi out of each of these and just take that to the front. Might be easier so you don't have to deal with a whole lot of stuff. Square root of x squared is just x, minus x squared to the second is x to the fourth. This could be a problem you have to do by hand. I mean, it's possible, because it's not that this is not hard to integrate, but for us, for now, we're just always be able to use your calculator and put it in. On the test, typically, I said this before, it'll be in terms of pi, so you're going to leave that pi out, get the answer, and then put the pi back in. Should I take it? Sure. Let me see, I think I did this one first.
the silver edition. Your footage is kind of the thing, so then they can decide.
I didn't. When did they start?
Yeah, we'll just.
Not so. Yeah, this whole week or the next full week. Then we have a 3-day weekend. Come back on Tuesday, and they start Wednesday. 2 weeks from this Wednesday.
It's a really short week.
What's that?
It's a really short week. It's like,
Yeah. What are you going to see? I saw it on Friday! Oh my god! Was it good? Holy crap. I don't know, Javert.
Can you believe the ending?
He was the only...
What does he do?
You're gonna go with your French class?
I wish Spanish class went on trips. No, we just get yelled at.
Are you guys actually going in school?
they need Mexican
Yeah, but you
class.
still get yelled at by old women. And Kirby. He was just yell at you.
Are you going like, do they have movies during the day or do you have to wait till like 2 or something? Like,
It's during the day.
it's during the day. I have never been in a movie, sorry, where I just like, I have popcorn and I'm always like, I ate it during the previews and I like literally put it, I just sat there the entire time.
That's what
I thought Anne Hathaway was ridiculously amazing. I thought Hugh Jackman, oh my god, like he's ridiculous. But Russell Crowe, I gotta say, he just can't sing that
He
well.
can't now.
So like,
I was
it-
more involved with the
Made my
character
ears
though.
bleed.
did you see it?
I did see
Okay.
it.
I think that if he wasn't singing, he could have been even better.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to worry about the singing part. But
Just
like,
his pacing was really weird. Like,
Yeah, like,
he would rush and then he'd slow down.
right, like, da 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 da. Oh, I think I need to get him now. And like, I don't know, it was a little bit weird. But like, oh, so good. Alexa, did you see it yet?
Yeah, it's like my favorite movie ever.
Right? Like,
I
don't really
highly recommend
My
the
favorite movie is
25th anniversary edition, and it was like the O2
see up here,
concert in
buildings.
Dublin
Buildings.
was amazing, and Alfie Bell was Jean Valjean, and he like.
so wait, is this the one that was on PBS and it's like them just singing their roles? I've seen it, love it.
I love Alfie.
That Jean Valjean is the greatest one ever.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, even that Javert, like, and that's the only reason why the movie was, like, not disappointing. I can't even say that word with him.
Yeah.
Because, like, when he killed himself, that's...
Spoiler alert! Jesus! I was gonna go see it!
It's a remix song.
Damn!
No.
Might as well put that one on Brooks' stream.
Oh, no, I mean, I saw the show when I was, like,
God.
10 or 12.
Spoiler alert.
It's been, yeah, so it's been on Broadway for a long time.
I should have seen it coming.
It's Nick Cage's birthday.
Yes,
Stop
let
it!
me know. It is.
Kelsey, did you know that?
Oh, she's the same birthday as Nick Cage.
Oh my god!
Each other's minds and stuff.
Do I really? Yes! Oh my god, you gotta
That's
put Nick Cage in her face, or
fantastic.
vice versa.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'll give it.
Wow.
I didn't know this.
This is amazing.
The same birthday as Nick.
But yeah, so ridiculously good. I'm with you. We're right here. Okay. I don't know what the answer to this is. Did you get it?
0.3.
0.5?
0.3. I lost a little too.
No, 0.3 high.
Back 2009.
Oh my god, Alexis, seriously?
What did I do wrong?
A lot, apparently.
Because I have the same kind of. I keep
What did I do wrong?
Your calculator just hates
Why? You put 10 instead of 0.1.
Learn how to
Done.
get.
Done.
It's really fun.
It's not your calculator.
Congratulations.
What was
Alright.
it, 0.3?
Doesn't matter.
Ah.
But your box method.
Your box.
Everybody come to tutoring on Wednesday.
I'm bringing a set.
I'll be there.
What, tutoring?
Cause I need
Remember point
points.
chooser do the end of
Oh, I should show up too.
Yeah, but not.
Who do you tutor? Where is this
In the
going?
library.
How many points do we need by January?
And who do you tutor?
It's recommended. It's not like you're gonna kick that.
Is that just like
You both show up.
all high school students?
Yeah.
And
10
and
and
there's
15.
food.
Because we need 25.
I guess I'll come. We can
Not
chat.
even NHS.
You can say I'm your tutoring me, and then we can eat some
Yeah, I'll
food.
bring us.
When's this Wednesday? Wednesday, yeah.
Jared comes.
Jared's there.
I told you that was the sign of the package.
I thought it was, and I was like, maybe they're doing really one Jared.
I'm not.
It's
No.
Sunny's night.
Deal
Bring
with
it
Oh.
That has me set.
It's cold.
Or you
Shut
can
down
delete
my back
snacks
today.
during
Oh,
our
just
summer
do not get
break.
in line, don't get in line.
You're right, 'cause I saw
Press
you
the button.
lighting.
One day.
When's 2 days after school in the library?
At Burger King at the work.
Alright.
It's kind of
Give me a reminder on Wednesday, I'll be
Do your
there.
calculus homework and
80 hours.
Don't do that though.
do other homework.
Play some chess.
I actually,
Go Con, I'll play you chess.
You like it, right?
Jade, do you like Dragon?
No, I don't like Dragon.
I haven't worked like
Why
2
not?
weeks, so yeah, just started out.
Nice and casual
I
too.
don't
Didn't even
work
like
all the time.
All right, ready? So here's how you'll see it. I don't know that it's, the curves aren't going to be that hard, but this is a fairly easy problem. After this, we're going to rotate around the y-axis just for a little fun.
Is that harder? Or is it not?
It's not harder. It's just annoying
Wow.
because you got to do it in terms of y instead of in terms of x.
See if they like switch it all around.
Yeah. That's huge. So the curves aren't going to be that hard, and this is why, like in pre-cal, we tried to make it so that you really knew what this stuff looked like without a calculator, so you could sketch it pretty easily. Like you should be able to sketch all that and kind of see the space we're talking about. So let's see. I might have needed to give you, well, let's say. I love numbers. So y equals e to the x, y equals 2. Oh, crap. Take out the x equals 5.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take out the x equals 5. Let's just say we have y equals 2. And we've got e to the x. And x equals 0. Once you graph all of your parts, you should have a bound space. It doesn't leak out, if you know what I mean. So like here's my bound space. It's this, it's contained on all sides, and that's what I'm trying to rotate. So revolve that area around the x-axis. So the first thing I try to do is give myself a little picture. I'm not great at this. I know e to the x is going here. I got this. You don't have to draw anything else. I just like to see that I've got like an outer curve and or an outer circle and an inner circle. I'm talking about the area. So like, let me take a different color. I'd be like, all right, I've got this outer circle here, inner circle here. Do you see that once I do rotate this and I have a volume, that it has a complete hole in the middle, like I can see through it?